What's up, everybody? It's your boy Ant coming to you live and direct from Beyond Reality Podcast. Everyone, make sure y'all like and subscribe to the channel. Y'all see the title, man. Krump Talk, episode 20. I got one of the legends, OGs, in my eyes, one of the creators of Krump. You know, this guy is heavily respected in Krump. He's just an amazing guy. You know, we're going to hear his lifestyle of his Krump story. You know, I'm just putting on classic after classic after classic after classic. This will be a two-part episode for these OGs and vets. We can't get all these episodes in one show, so I will be doing a lot of two-part series. So here we go, y'all. Krump Talk, episode 20, part 1 of Slayer. Let's go.
What up, bro?
Slayer, what's good, brother?
What's good with it?
I can't call it, man. Feeling good. How you feeling today?
You picked the right track.
Yeah.
I was going to go into a match.
Yep. Yo, bro, man, I told you, man, I'm on top of all this.
I was perfect.
That's what's up, man. So, yeah, man, you know, I just want to say, man, Slayer, for, a person of your stature, bro, to bless my platform and the Krump community. This is like extra dope, man. Like, this is crazy, man. I can't believe I got this far, bro.
Man, it's just a little bit of faith, bro. You going places. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
I think perspective-wise, you know, I look at it as this is my perspective. You know what I mean? I think people let success go to their head personally, and it just has to do with something that's going on here. Like, I think we're all being given an opportunity, and what we do with the opportunity kind of, and it speaks for who we are. And you're great. You're coming into your greatness. You know what I mean? I think my job as a person who has been passed like a baton and an opportunity is to not put my thumb on anybody else, but give the opportunities. You know what I mean? Like, to invest so that you can be greater. You know what I mean? And I'm honored that you decide to, like, you know, want to hear this, you know, story. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, man. Thanks, man.
we're both on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Facts. Feelings definitely mutual. So, you know, introduce yourself, brother, to this platform.
Yeah. So, Slayer, most people may know me as Dragon. Other names go by 5150, Big Slash, Big Slaughter. But I also currently, other people may just know me as J Baptiste. They may have some people tuning in from the wrestling community, you know what I mean, that are going to be just like, what's this? They've been asking me a lot about Krump and what's that, and they wanted me to include it in what I'm doing. I'm slowly but surely like getting there, but one of those who were instrumental in laying the foundation for Krump and helping to establish like the culture of it. And yeah, so I'm just here to share wisdom, and yeah.
Yeah, that's cool, bro. So we're gonna jump into it. Let's take it back, like, from the beginning of all the stages. When did you first, like, when did Krump first get, like, into your life?
So when I first noticed Krump and took a hold of it, I started to see it emerge. It was something called the Throwdown Showdown. Okay, so this was during the time of when I called them the Titans of clowning: El Nino, La Nina, Swoop, you know, Larry, etc. But they had like broken off and from Tommy the Clown, and this is when Todd Isaac came. Chaz had stepped on the scene, and he had a really aggressive style. You know what I mean? Which kind of it had me kind of like, what's this? You know, I was clowning at the time, and I would just go like kind of just be around the movement. They were like at was it the Tommy the Clown headquarters? And so everyone was there like weekly, daily almost. And so I would just go, and I was I'm an artist, so I would just kind of draw. I was just I had a concept for a comic book, so I was kind of drawing, coming up with character designs and stuff. And the I call it like the essence of Krump. I began to like tap into it, develop like Krump art, Krump language. And I started to step out. I was more so, I don't even want to say shy. I was just more so reserved. And
Mm-hmm.
then I got into it because so you had Little C, Speedy, Eyes, Miho, not so much, but Miho, Jay Smooth, a lot of them like got together. So I was known for I had a loss at what was it, Battlezone 3. And so the homies, like, they would get around and they would like joke about it. So I would just like be sitting there like, man. So it was a loss that I had, and I was like, all right, I'm getting tired of them talking about it. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna show them. So behind the scenes, I just started working on uh, a different style, and I would just pick up things that I started to do more dramatic movement, more warfare movement, more aggressive movements. And then I was taking the elements of things that I was seeing and then molded into my own, my own movements. And I just kind of really aggressively started coming at Lil C, Eyes, Miho. Miho was away doing football. And Actually, I started going around and battling everybody, just everywhere, like coming out like, that's dude there's a dragon that lost at Battlezone. So then I would just be like at everybody and was killing people off. So then I think this was during the time that family was at Cartoon. That was really like the headquarters, you know what I mean, like for real. And so I just would go over there, and I remember the day I went over there, and Lil C, I would always, we were cool. So I was saying to him, I was like, hey, bro, let's get this in. And then he was laughing and taking me serious. So I started battling them. And then what happened is, as I began to like spar with them, I started to evolve. You know what I mean? But it was like aggressive, like, let's go. Like some of the new heads are around. You know what I mean? Like they about, like, that's how you do it. That's how you evolve. You have to like, I think my focal point is like, you got to be mentally tough. Most people are not mentally tough, and they don't have the heart. And that's why it doesn't matter how skilled you are, from a conversation, you break down. You know what I mean? So I think that's like really my focus, like to deal with people's mindset and their heart and Krump, so that they can evolve. You know what I mean? So that's how it happened for me.
Wow. So, how was the movie Rise presented to you?
Movie Rize was presented to me. It wasn't presented to. It wasn't presented as. I remember myself. I can't remember. I think it was Sticks and Little C. I think Eyes. I can't remember everybody. My memory's kind of shoddy on that. But we did the 2000. It was a 4 Matrix. It was something regarding Matrix. We had did like um, a Matrix spoof. Okay, so we're doing a Matrix spoof video, and we were in the videos and stuff, and that's when we met Tone and Rich Talladega, and then we met them. They introduced us to Dave LaChapelle. Dave LaChapelle came in and kind of just wanted to tell our story, so it was like a documentary. He was just filming what we're doing. We were never, nobody was going, oh, this is going to be a movie. No, we just, it was, listen, there have been so many cameramen that came in and out of Krump, I'm like, for years, hardball, like, it was all kind of people. So he was just another person. Does that make sense? Like,
Mm-hmm.
with a camera. And he started to show up more, and then he put together a short, I think it was either called, it was going to be called The Lion's Den, but I think it was called Krumped, Krumped. And he showed it to us, and I was known for having footage. Like, I was swiping footage, like tapes and stuff. So I had some of the stuff for a while, but like over the years it's gotten lost. But it was initially like that. It was a short little documentary, and he was showing us, like, what he had filmed and everything. And then actually the name of the movie Rise came from me, from a conversation we had. He coined Rise from that, and then we had a conversation, and he wanted to do. And this is one thing I tell people, like, never underestimate or undervalue your gift. You know what I mean? Like, I think I made the Rise, the logo for it, I think probably for like maybe 175, bro, maybe 175. And I didn't because I could do it so easily. Pss, 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 right? I needed money at the time. I wasn't thinking. We weren't thinking like this is gonna be a movie. We weren't thinking it's gonna go all across the world. We just was like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
If I would then what I know now, you feel me?
Wow.
Yeah, I could be a millionaire. But you know what I mean? It's my money coming another way though. You feel me?
Right. Wow, man. Wow.
And
So
then
you create
and
the
then the movie
local.
got shot. The movie got shot. And then we ended up going to film festivals. It was just like kind of even like what Prissy's doing with her movie, you know what I mean? Like it got shopped around. Next thing you know, it just became, bro. And it's like, wow, we're gonna be on a movie. You know what I mean?
Right. So you originally because you know the four characters in Rise, well five, which were you, Little C, Prissy, Eyes, and T-Fly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, were you guys all selected? Like, this is gonna be the five that we mainly focus on, or that's how it
No,
kind of played out to be?
oh, I think, and then this is the sad part. Like, well, to my knowledge, no. Okay, I think what happened, and there were people who had their stories. Like, there are a lot of people who were getting their stories or footage. I think God has a way of doing stuff. I was able to articulate just because of who I am. I was able to articulate the whole thing, not just like the dance. I was, there were things I was personally studying regarding it because I was pulling healing from Krump. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I was being healed. So I was really serious about it. You know what I mean? Not just like, oh, I'm going to go dance. I was really, really like a student of what was being formed. And I was able to articulate it. But none of us, to my knowledge, you know what I mean? People have their stories and, stories keep changing. But from my knowledge, it's like, we were never like, I'm going to use you. I'm going to use you. It's just that people were, once we started to tell our stories, people began to be drawn more and more to them. You know what I mean? Like, and it just formed. I mean, there was a lot of people over a lot of time that were being documented. You know what I mean? And it just so happens, we were picked, so to
Wow.
speak, or we were highlighted. Nobody went in with that mindset of, you know what I mean? Like, these are going to be the stars, or these going to, we kind of knew Tommy was going to be a part of it, obviously. But us, as far as we go, everybody was just like, oh, you know what I mean? That's like,
Wow.
that's like you doing this, and then your stuff getting chosen to be on Oprah. You just doing this. Does that make sense? And it
Mm-hmm.
was, oh, what hell? You know what I mean? Didn't know this was going to be this serious. It got real serious real quick. And I actually really hate that because that success messed up some really, really wonderful relationships, man.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. You know, Rise is an amazing movie, and I'm just surprised that it made its way all the way to like Netflix and things of that nature, man. That's crazy for, like you said, for you guys to didn't know if it was gonna start like from a small plant to being like this elevated and changing lives, man. Is like crazy.
Yeah, I had no idea. Still today, bro, it really haven't even hit me. I'm just like, people are like, you're a part of history and all that. I'm like, man, for me, it doesn't register because of the amounts of, like, I don't play with like any relationships I have. Like, I give all that stuff back to keep those relationships pure. Does it make sense? It's
Yeah.
not. I have a different set of loyalty. That's
Now,
just me.
are you like a bunch of people from that movie are upset? I don't know if they still are, but it was at one point they were upset that they didn't get compensated for Rise being on Netflix. Did you have that same feeling, or were you just like kind of have like whatever?
I think for me, I've gone on. I would say I was upset, but I've gone on to accomplish other things. I've gone on to accomplish other things, and I have income coming from different places. Uh, but I was definitely upset about it. But being angry doesn't change stuff. And I used to be a very angry person, so I was angry. But there's some things you can send be anger, and angry about things, but how are you going to change them? That's my focus. Is there something I can do about it? So that's, you know what I mean? Like, and we took whatever steps that we thought were necessary to try to get compensation. You know what I mean? And I think that's in, you know, that's in God's hands, and you know what I mean? Like some whatever legal matters, but it's just, it is what it is. You know what I mean? I
Yeah,
think there's a lot of people that are, it's happened so many times with me. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like, well, I can get angry about it, I can learn from it.
right. So, you know, you were in that movie you were known as Dragon. Kind of let
Hmm.
everybody know why you went from the name Dragon to Slayer at that time. Well, after the Rize movie.
Right, right. Well, it was actually, the change happened before the movie came out, right? I just had a personal encounter with Christ. You know what I mean? Some really personal encounters during the movie. I was actually during the last part of the movie of the filming. If you guys ever see it, like I have this cast on my arm. They're actually walking in front of my old elementary school. So I just had some episodes where I was actually trying to kill myself, and nobody really knew. I think Little C knew, maybe Prissy knew. Those were people that I kind of talked to about what was going on. Um, and I found the Lord. I surrendered my life to Him, and because of that, because Dragon, you know, Dragon was associated with Satan. During that time, I didn't want to have anything to do with that, and it was a God-given name. God spoke to me and told me my name was Slayer, and so that was what I just began to go by. You know what I mean? So by the time the movie came out, and you know, I was being introduced as Slayer, and then people were like, "Oh, well, who is this guy?" Because they weren't putting the two and two together. You know what I mean? Even people now, well, who's Slayer? It's different. You know what I mean? They're like, "Who's Slayer? Who's Dragon?" That was a part of like my pain, my learning. You know what I mean? And so I was able to actually get back and get into the name, but just to change the spelling. And then I was instructed to pass that assignment to someone else.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, amazing, man. You know, I'm just happy to hear that, you know, you were going through tough times at that point, and you know, and you didn't take your life per se. You know, you won't be here today being this amazing person that it's a lot of people that look up to you, brother, and you know, I'm
It
just
was
happy.
it was I was that close, bro. I'm like literally for real, like that close. And what actually really helped me was like the genuine relationships that we had in the community. You know what I mean? From Krump, and what I was actually getting from that, because actually it was. I think people mistake, and then this is where I take a lot of responsibility for the whole kind of Christ up thing that happened, right? um, and that may be something we can talk about like in depth in part two. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah, definitely.
so like what ended up happening is I really needed people that loved me for me, and I found that in Krump, and I was able to find God in it, not religiously, but just, you know what I mean, in my expression, in my art, and a lot of things I had a value I was giving out, and people were, there was a lot of affirmation in it. You know what I mean? Like the artwork, the dance. I was able to get, there was a lot of like, I, I tell my story to people, they're like, what? I'm like, yeah. And I don't necessarily look like what happened to me, but it did. You know what I mean? So, um, you know, I had that encounter, you know, and my life changed. Like I went from, you know, being wild card, you know what I'm saying? And it was real to me. And then I shared that with everyone else. Like, look, this is what happened. You know, Prissy, you can hear Prissy talking about like, you know, Dragon brought me back to Christ. And I was just sharing, you know, like when you find some good food, like, yo, you know, that was it. Like, yo, we need to, you know what I mean? And for me to do it, everybody knew how wild I was. For everybody knew like this, wow. You know what I mean? And it was real. It wasn't like I wasn't preached at. It was a real encounter with God. And I've been doing that for, you know what I mean? And that just was my mission. You know what I mean? That's what and I shared it, like, let's go. And then it just evolved into something like what the hell is this? This is what we're doing. You know, and I just stepped away, like, because I'm a type of person, I have anger. I had some serious anger issues, and I backed up and took my hands, like, oh, if that's what y'all want, that's what y'all want them. And that's how we've gotten to this, you know.
Yeah,
Even hearing
right.
people, talk about
Yeah,
the price
definitely
stuff.
we're definitely gonna get a lot of in depth in part two. So, after the Rise movie, one of the DVDs that I kind of like, once I saw it, I was like, okay, this is what I want to do for like at this time of my life, which is Breakers versus Krumpers.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of tell everybody like how all that got created and your part in the movie DVD as well.
So I think I forgot we got. I wonder if that was a Tone and Rich connection. I can't remember, but I know we was working with Shabadoo, and it was basically like, these breakers, they were like kind of ridiculing Crump, and I think it was Crump was like our baby. You know what I mean? Like, and like seriously, we like I mean, we did some stuff with them, some videos, but it was more so in person. Think more because we didn't have like the internet like we have now, where people are able to like do all this, but there was a level of respect. But then I think when certain people got around their homies, like when they got around their b-boy homies, there was some mouthing off, and we were from the hood, so it was like we were taking it very like, all right, we get disrespectful. And so we went, we were in this situation where we want to prove like you're not. It was hard. Like I think the people that are doing stuff now, like realizing, like we're seeing people that are in music videos and stuff. We really paved the way. We had to go through some stuff just to get Krump noticed. Like we would get ridiculed and show up to auditions, be there for hours. You know what I mean? And then for me, most of everybody else were like trained dancers or had a passion for dance. I didn't have a passion for dance. You know what I mean? Like my role was like the expression and culture of it. You know what I mean? So it's like that's why I kind of like, all right, put a little back, because my dream was never to be a dancer star. Does that make sense? I just have a message. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, but we went through hell, bro. I'm talking about for real. And then Breaker versus Krumpin happened, and it was finally we were able to come, and it's like, all right, y'all may not accept Crump, but you're gonna accept, you know what I mean? Like you're gonna respect it. That was our
Right.
mindset. You're gonna respect it. You feel me?
Right. Which DVD or movie did you think kind of like propelled Crump into the like mainstream? Do you think it was Rise or was it Breakers first versus Crumpers? Because like I said, I seen Rise before, but it didn't move me like how Breakers versus Crumpers did. Like it
I,
didn't
I,
play like that impact.
I think for me, I think it was Rise. And the reason why it probably resonated with you is because in Rise, you're not seeing us dance. You're seeing our story. Most of the Crump, you're seeing like, it's like, how we're at sessions, we're like, nigga, where the footage at? You feel me? Because you want to connect. So it's like Rise didn't give good footage of Crump. It gave insight to our stories. It gave more, if you look at it, it has more footage of maybe clowning and more so people's story. It was like the bread from Cheesecake Factory. You feel me? Like,
Right.
all right, we have Cheesecake Factory, but we want the meal. So it's like I think Breakfast versus Crumpin', you see like the raw. You know what I mean? Like you see I think to me, Breakfast versus Crumpin', and then like some of the other DVDs have more of the unwatered down, and not that Rise was watered down. It's just that the raw stuff, it wasn't. It was captured, but it wasn't put on the film.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I think the most powerful element that we have, it's not the battles, and I think like I wish people would go back to adding value to the session, because there's something that's in the session that is not. That's what people need. They need the energy from the session. That's why it's toxic right now. It's the
Mm-hmm.
energy from the session. Breakers versus Crumpin', we brought the session to, you know what I mean, to the B-boys, and they were in that element with us, you know what I mean? So if you can see, that's like, of course, Prissy's not there, but, Fufu was there, but it was like, that was the only time that we're together for real. We haven't been together since that.
I agree. I
Does it make sense?
agree. Yes, sir. You know that in Breakers versus Krumpers, right? There was
Mm-hmm.
a scene where, Lil C was, kind of explaining to I forgot his name. What's no, the other one from Different Strokes. I
Oh,
forgot.
Ty Bridges.
Right. Ty Bridges, right?
Mm-hmm.
Lil C was saying introducing Eyes as the other 50% of Krump. And Lil C saying, like he was the other half of 50% of Krump. That quick conversation is still going on to this day, right? Which is like got a lot of people beefing, got a lot of people choosing sides, et cetera,
Yeah.
et cetera. From your perspective, bro,
Oh,
who's are like, because a lot of people think it's this Ches and Mijo, but for me, it's I add on like you, Little C, Prissy, just like a lot of people. Can you kind of like and explain like for you like who were the creators of Krump in your eyes?
okay.
Those two besides, or let's just say who else played a part besides Eyes and Mijo?
I can definitely tell you a lot more people than Oz and Mio. I mean, that's where all of us don't necessarily agree. It's one of those things like when you talk about it, you have hurt feelings, and it's been like that. It's been like, for whatever reason in Krump, it's been like, chances are it's been at the center of it. And then the 50% is given to C, or the 50% is given to Miho or whoever else. It's never been a thought it doesn't even matter to me, right?
Right.
Because it's like, I don't know where that came from. I don't know where it came from, but it's very toxic. You know what I mean? That's just my perspective. It's toxic because it's like you have a lot of people who put in work. I'm talking about a lot of people who put in work, and we, again, for whatever reason, you know what I'm saying? Like, we were chosen to be the mouthpieces. For whatever reason, our stories were highlighted. But there's a lot of people who gave up time. I was blessed to be able to, be there. You know what I mean? I was very blessed to be able to speak, blessed to have my story shared. But there's a lot of people, and this is why people are angry, because a lot of people put in blood, sweat, and tears. I'm serious, serious blood, sweat, and tears, sacrifice a lot. And so that's why there's an anger. And I don't believe that anyone could say 50% belongs to this person, 25%, because just say, for instance, if I was the greatest, right? And then you have somebody else that added to it, right? If I ignore everybody that supported me, then I stand by myself. And where would I be if nobody supported me? Does that make sense? If nobody came, like, how live is the session if you by yourself? You know what I mean? It's something that was supposed to be shared, and I believe it started getting manufactured, and there is a responsibility and a stewardship that we have to bring the next person up. That's my perspective. So I've never fought for being recognized as the king, the prince, anything of Krump. I just play my role. I can have a talk with anybody and just lay truth down. You cannot refute the truth that I lay down, because I don't have any dogs in the fight. Does that make sense? But I was coined the other day. One of my boys told me that you the baby daddy of Krump. I was laughing so hard. I was like, bro. He was like, yeah, because you come in, you give gifts and you disappear like a baby daddy. And I was like, it hit a spot. Though. I was like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like, ooh. He was like, yeah, you have, like, a lot of us, we need the stuff that you have to give, but you come in, you dip for whatever reason. You know what I mean? So I was like, it made me go like, dang, bro. You know what I'm saying? But I think that's just I could say that there are 5 pillars, you know what I mean? And that's not to negate anybody else. A pillar is something that supports, you know what I mean? Why do you have pillars? Okay? Why do you have pillars? You have pillars because there's 2 levels to it. I believe me, Miho, Prissy, tight eyes, right? I believe we were a little C. I believe we were put in position to build a platform for the next generation. We didn't have big homies in a sense. Our big homies were clowns. You know what I mean? So
Right.
we sit
Right.
on a foundation that was laid in Krump in clowning. We are the pillars. And when I say that, that's not to, I think people who are jostling for recognition and appreciation, they take that maybe as disrespect. You know what I'm saying? Because of how people present it. This doesn't mean that we are greater. We have a responsibility, bro. I take that very serious. So a pillar is to uphold the next level. And we were supposed to uphold the next level. And instead, people keep exalting themselves. I don't exalt myself above nobody. I just fear God too much. You know what I'm saying? And I understand my role. You know what I mean? I think people don't know their role. They don't know their place. They've lost sight of themselves. You know what I mean? Like, and that's part of one of the reasons I like kind of like tap in and out, bro. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
I don't, there's a lot of recognition that I didn't get, but I think for me, it's I already know what I did. And the people that I helped know that I helped them. And whether they ever recognize it or not, I had a hand in most of the Krump worlds, especially those that are great, in building them up, especially when nobody knew who they were. That was my role. And I'm going to always stick to that. I think for me, I don't have an insecurity where I have a need to be great in people's eyes because I already know I'm great. You can't tell me I'm not. But
Right.
my greatness is I support people and I don't dominate does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. That's
So,
well said, bro. Very well said. That's very well said, man. Very well said. And I'm glad like people are able to hear it from, creator like yourself, bro, because it's always only a certain amount of people where the light is on them. So by the light being just on them, everyone is going to believe whatever they say, because, not saying that it's bad, but, some people take advantage of the opportunity that they have, you know what I'm saying? And, you can't blame them, but this is part of letting everyone know that it's more, like you said, pillars and Krump, besides just two people or one person.
yeah. But I think it's like this. I'm going to talk wrestling. We know wrestling is WWF, WCW, right? But there
Facts.
are other smaller organizations that these Hulk Hogan's and Ric Flair's pulled from. So WWF made them stars, but they came from Memphis. They came from NWA. Does that make sense? And
Mm-hmm.
then I think people forget. Like, I don't care how high or far you climb up whatever ladder. Don't forget the rungs and the steps that you took. And that people forget. Everybody has to come down one day. You know what I mean? And if you eliminate those rungs, how great your fall is going to be. You know what I mean? How great your fall is going to be because you chose to step over people to become great. You know what I'm saying? Like instead of playing your role. You know what I mean? Like, and I think it just goes to people's heads, and it can happen to anybody. It can just
Facts.
happen. You know what I mean? I don't let you can't let people make you. You can't let people make you turn on your boys. I've never you can't do that. And I've had disagreements with all of the creators, pioneers, but they're just disagreements. I'm not gonna do anything disloyal, backstabbing, or destructive because of if I told you I got your back, I got your back, and I'm gonna hold you accountable, but I'm gonna protect you. Does that make sense? If I
Mm-hmm.
got like if me and you, I'm not gonna. I think there's a need for people to like, hey, drag this Negro publicly. You feel me? Like, yeah, that's what they want to see. No, this is there's a way that things are done. You know what I'm saying? And there's just a talk that we have to have, and we'll continue to have it. But if people need to be greats in people's eyes, if they need that, then let them have it. Like if
Facts.
people be great, if it makes them feel better to be whatever they are in Krump, if they need that, they need that. That's what you needed from Krump. I didn't need that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, bro. You know, me and you had an amazing conversation off camera about Krump being selfless. Could you let everybody know, like, what was your definition, or, you know, what would you like explaining to me when you made that statement?
Selfless or selfish?
Selfless.
Because it's two avenues, right? So the whole aspect of Krump, I take it back to testimony, I take it back to story, take it back to expression from what I got from it. Like, if I come and I give of myself, my creativity, I don't even know who I'm inspiring, right? So all the stuff like this, I look at this, all the stuff that I was doing that was being ridiculed, some people are doing it now. And for those OGs that are watching, like some of y'all looking like, hey man, I started that, I gave that, right? So you need to know that. You see, know that you put that in there. Now, a lot of us are looking to be recognized for something that we did instead of recognizing. Did you just hear what I said?
Mm-hmm.
We're looking to be recognized for what we did instead of recognizing what we did. I don't need you to see it when I know I did it. So instead of me recognizing, I'm waiting for you to identify it instead of me identifying what I did that. You see what I'm saying? I don't need to live vicariously through you. You know what I'm saying? I live. And I know that if I had not done what I did, you wouldn't be doing what you did. But I don't need to try to pull you down. Let you be great. And when you are great, I'm great. I'll sit back for a distance. And like, I've never been outside of the country for Krump. Never done any workshops. I think I've probably done 1 or 2 workshops. Never shared none of this information. I don't even have those relationships with those people. You know what I mean? They're, to some degree, I've been cut off from the Krump world. You know what I mean? And that's just what it is. So, but I'm watching people that were maybe my little homies or that I mentored who didn't have a mindset, who felt like they were whack. And I told them they were great when they couldn't even get a chest pop together. So when they're over in another nation, in Russia, like I've always dreamed of going to Germany. That's where I was born. You know what I mean? Like when they're getting off, I get to be a part of that. You know what I'm saying? And it's okay. I enjoy that. Does it make sense? So you have to be selfless. There's too many people that are entering into it with a selfish mindset to take something from it instead of adding to it. You know what I mean? When I came, I brought what I had and gave it to Krump. And fashion, a lot of this, like intros, all that stuff wouldn't be character. That wouldn't be what it was if I hadn't given of my essence into Krump. I know that. Whether people know it, I can take them through the steps. But it's not something that I don't need to make it a major thing because Krump has progressed. And there are people who are still like, I didn't get my 40 acres in a mule, so to speak. Does that make sense? It's perspective. You know what I mean? And it actually touches something that there's maybe some other areas in their life where they haven't gotten recognition, and it hurts because they think that, you know, if I would have been showcased in Rize, or if I would have been, then I could be a star. You are a star. You are great. Be that. You know what I'm saying? Everywhere I've gone, and I'm telling you, I've tried to, like, locally, I've tried to push Krump away from my life, and so I'm just being real. I'm like, I have a bad taste. But I'm talking about even in the church world, like wherever I go, when they find out, why didn't you tell us? Even at my job, people are like, why didn't you tell us that you were Dragon and Krump? You are a legend. I'm talking about people that have been in jail. Like we watch, I'm like, oh God, are you serious? In wrestling. So I'm like, okay, I can't escape it. You know what I'm saying? It's like that baby that you have, like, no, this you got your eye. You feel me? So, but you know, there's a conversation things that I maybe need to add to help people process through this. But I really believe that if we become selfless and give of ourself the way it's supposed to, and take that selfish mindset out of it, man, it's so much in Krump. So
I
much
agree. I definitely agree, brother. Man, you answering these questions like, man, this is what we need, man. Like legit honesty and a positive response to the questions that the world wants to know. You know, you just touched on character and Krump. Like a lot of these new cats that's dancing now, they left that part of the dance as far as like having your own character, having your own style, finding yourself in Krump. Could you explain to the people like what is the definition of character and Krump, and also name a couple dancers that they fit their character?
Yo, so character, it's identity. A lot of people don't have it. Really, it's really sad to watch because they take workshops for technique, but they're putting technique on what? So the workshops and the skill, it has to be framed on a body. You know what I mean? And because there's nobody to frame it on, you can tell when they're dancing, there's no connection. So character is essence, what makes up who you are. And a lot of people need to do some heart searching and mind searching first before they start adding this technique. Because I watch and it's like, yeah, there's a lot of skill, but it doesn't register to a person that has essence and character. We don't feel it. It's tight. And so a lot of people are going for it. It's tight. It's like Five Guys burger versus McDonald's burger. Does that make sense? We can get them out in 3 minutes, but if you wait for this quality with the seasoning and the flavor, does that make sense? So so it's like, and that's been served, 2 billion served so far. Where there's people that know, like, this ain't it. You know what I mean? This ain't it. And some people are taking it disrespectful, like, you OGs are coming in, and it's not to disrespect where Krump is, but you guys have mass manufactured it and put it in all these countries, and you left out there's some ingredients missing.
I agree. I definitely agree.
You know what I mean? I'm talking about, like, you got people like pulling character like off of TV shows and don't even capture the essence of that just for the sake of performing. You know what I'm saying? It's like a bad Tyler Perry flick. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, okay, them braids, Shamar Moore. You know what I'm saying? It was like, yeah, you feel me? Like, yeah.
Yeah. So what are some dancers? Drop a few names that for sure that okay, they character fits them dance style.
Solo.
I agree.
And there's people, when they have it, I turn them off. For real. I watch 30 seconds, maybe 20 seconds of stuff, and I have to turn it off. I don't want to see this because they dance very disrespectful. Solo, Cannon, Ruin, Native, Riot, Quenga, Dragon, Casey. There's other people that have, like, who else? It's another Slick, Kill Bill, Bullet. You know what I mean? They really got it. A lot of, I don't want to like get into too many names. Like it's bad. It's no, bro. It's bad. It's like, oh. And there's a couple of people like I don't know them like that. You know what I'm saying? There's some women, man. I think Lady C4. I think it's 4. Like, there's people like I be want to clothesline it for real. Like, hey, like for real. It's like you feel it. They be like, God, you know what I mean? And they don't have to do much because they got it. It's like a musty person. You feel me? Like, whoa, you stink. That's how they is, bro. Like, it's a lot of people though, and a lot of people I don't know their names, but some people that stand out. Like, if you were asking me who captured essence or took it to the next level, I would say like definitely Riot, Cannon, Native, Ruin. Like, there's some people that stand. I feel like they took the essence that we left in a Quenga, especially that dude is crazy, and they took it, and it's like, dang, you really, you can tell that they dug into it. You know what I mean?
I agree. I agree with every last dancer that you said, except for I feel that Weapon is along that category as well.
Man, Weapon, that's what I say. I want to get the drop name. He embodied his. He had his whole. There's some people that have their own movements. They took essence and provide. Like, there's people that can branch out from Krump and start their own movement. because they're tapping into something else. Weapons tapped into something else.
Mm-hmm.
Facts. You know what I'm
That's a
saying?
whole fact.
Facts. Like if you pull them away from, Spartan. Like there's people I haven't even watched to this day. I haven't watched all their footage. I turn it off. I don't want to see that. For real, it gets bad. You know what I mean? What's his name? And I don't know what. Dread. He's still scratching for something that he already has, but you know what I mean? I'm like, bro, you already got it. Just focus. He's distracted. You know, I can say that. Bro, I've been telling him he was great since he's scratching for something that he already has and he don't know it. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, I was just on the phone with Dredd in a group call the other day. Amazing person. Man. Yeah.
I'm gonna journey with me. So we good. We walking.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Yeah. How can dancers like find their own walk of life in Krump? Because a lot of these new cats, they just think that by you taking workshops like that, okay, now I'm officially like it. You know what I'm saying?
I think the workshops are. I look at it like this: like, if you're gonna take a workshop, you need to know why you're taking the workshop. You know your framing, or you know how you're framed, then you add to myself to bring me to a certain level of improvement. So just because people are throwing workshops, it doesn't mean that you need to take them, but you need to find out what direction that you're going. There's too many people that don't know the direction that they're going. They don't know where they're going. So they're just taking all these workshops, but a lot of stuff doesn't work. Like one thing that has to be considered and brought into perspective is like body frame, body mass. You know what I'm saying? Like how a person is built. You know what I mean? So does the workshop that you've taken, does any of that information that's given out, does that even register with your body frame? You know what I'm saying?
I definitely agree. I definitely agree, man. Yeah, man. In my eyes, I said this in the beginning of the year, and like I got slander. I told him I think those workshops kind of hurted Krump.
Okay. Share how so I can understand.
Meaning like I feel like some of these dancers, say for example, if I take eyes workshop, I'm just giving you the perspective of like these new generation Krumpers. They feel like if they take an eyes workshop or a beast workshop, like they can say, well, I'm tight because I took their workshop. Like they don't put in the proper work to like come up with their own style, come up with their own character, build something. They just feel like if I did this, then I'm it. See what I'm saying?
So let's look at this. Like people are having babies, right, so to speak, but everybody's DNA comes through in features. Everybody has arms, legs, eyes, nose, but there's distinctiveness. You know what I mean? So the distinctiveness, the features, the DNA is not coming forth. Yes, you took the workshop, but let me tell you, like hands down, you take eyes, any of eyes packed, you're going to get technique. You know what I mean? You're going to get the technical aspect of it. Miho is going to help you with like passion and drive. You know what I mean? Like, so there's different people that you need to grab certain elements from. But I think people get so lost in what they're taught, it doesn't translate for them. It doesn't translate well. So it looks like, this is the reason why it looks like, and it's not to the fault of anybody teaching a workshop, but this is why we have people that are duplicates. You know what I mean? Like, that's just for me. I have little homies, but they don't dance like me. I just gave the duplicate myself. What is the purpose of duplicating myself and have another me. They need to be them. Does that make sense?
Yes,
Because
sir.
if I dance, I've already danced. And you can see maybe similar features, but you're not going to see a duplication. And what we've been getting is a bunch of duplication. Does that make sense? Does that register? You understand what I'm saying? People don't know how to, like, that's why I ask people the how. Okay, you got an arm swing or you have a chest pop. So what is the how? How does that register for you? You know what I mean? How would you do that with your character? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
How does your character do that? How does that manifest in your character?
Man, you answering these questions like perfect answer. You know what's crazy? The people in my crew, we never dance the same, but we all have the same character, same, attitude going towards like the Krump movement or in battles or in sessions. You know what I'm saying? But we all have our own separate dance styles as far as like us bringing it to Krump. And I'm so glad that, people in the future that are going to be watching this, bro, that's going to be hearing this from a legend, because like I said, man, it's so many people in this Krump movement that only believe that if this only one person says something, it's valid and no one else has a right to even say nothing else.
Mm-hmm. Think people need to just think for themselves. You know what I mean? People need to think for themselves. People need to think for themselves. And I think people are gonna listen to what makes sense to them, and it just may make sense. Just like the fear tactics of media. Come on, baby.
You almost made me cry.
Oh, come on. Hold on, I'm just gonna bring my daughter. You kiss? Yeah, fun.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing an interview, so it's about Krump.
Yeah.
Yes. She loves Krump, but yeah, she really does love it. But I put her out for some. Put your seatbelt on, baby. I mean, even her, bro. I've never taught her. She's watched and just, it's crazy. But I think like it's like the narrative. Whatever is mass produced, whatever is you know what I'm saying, pumped through, people are gonna go for it. But also those of us that do have other perspectives, I think, just for me, I think we need to talk more and share more, because other than that, that's just gonna be the narrative. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
And people don't like people that stir the pot. Does it make sense? It's like, don't start a pot, leave it alone. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, if you feel like you have a voice and you feel like you have something that needs to be said, don't let nobody bully you. That's what I've always stood for. I don't do no bullying. I don't like no bullying. Never bullied anybody. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna bully out in a minute, but so I don't. You know what I'm saying? Some things I don't stand for. I don't want it done. So there may be people who have different, and there may be people who have different perspectives. There's people that's like, oh, Slayer, you're not a this and that. Okay, that's your perspective. You're free to it. Okay. That's not going to change what I feel. It's not going to change what I know. You know what I'm saying? I know, people that talk about they got skin in the game. And then there's people that's like, the truth of the matter is, because there's so much of that, the truth of the matter, because there's so much of people, wanting recognition, there's people who just were there. And they may have done a move. I'm serious. Like, it's people that are really, like, I've seen some of the comments like, I did a move or I did this. It's like, okay, but are people really doing that? What did you, I think people think because they did something innovative, right? Did it carry on? You know what I'm saying? Like, did it carry on and help? And I think it's a perspective. Like, there's some people that were very tight at what they did, and they never got recognition, but it didn't translate over into Krump. It didn't translate over. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's not actually being used. And I think that's where the confusion comes in. Yes, they were tight in their day. Yes, they still had some moves. And yes, you know what I mean? But you have to, it's like the person that created the original telephone. You know what I'm saying? Like, as long as we have phones, they're always going to matter because they gave the original blueprint. Like, and then the person that maybe came up with the whatever technology for glass. So we have like touch phones now. You know what I mean? Like, as long as we have touch phones, You know what I'm saying? Or the technology for the flip phone. So the person that came up with the technology for the flip phone, do we have flip phones now? No, they're obsolete, right? So they're not used. So it's like the person that came up with the flip. You know what I mean? It's like, well, all our phones are flat now. So yes, you had a season in the whole development of the phone, such and such. Does that make sense? But we don't use flip phones. But if we go back to using flip phones, then you're going to have some relevancy. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
But the person who came up with the phone, no. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? And I think like there's a lot of that going on all the way just in history. There's people who never got there. You know, I'm interested in the whole Tesla thing with Edison and all that. You know what I mean? It's like, I never knew that. You know what I mean? It's people who got away with credit for stuff because other people's stories didn't come out. Now the other people's stories are coming out. And in Krump, it's like, they're going to
Yep.
be people, you know what I mean? My story has been the same from the beginning. You ain't go, it's been the same. You know what I mean? I believe God gave this to us. You know what I mean? I believe we shouldn't be taking credit for it, but it was for all of us. It wasn't for an individual. And there are some who had their role in it. And I think we got outside of our roles. That's just what I believe. I could be wrong, but I'm gonna stand on my wrong. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I think what, to tell the truth, what most people are clawing for is they're actually clawing for that family part again. You know what I mean? That's what Trump's really missing, the family aspect of it. You know what I mean?
Right. You know what's crazy? I'm glad you said that because, I started Krump in my city, which is upstate New York, Rochester, New York, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was the first person that brought Krump here.
Can I ask you, what you call Rochester? I'm not familiar.
Yes, it's right next to where Spartans from, Buffalo. It's the next time.
So that's the first set. So I wonder if you were up there, because I went up there once and I met Judge. Those are the OGs that I met from New York.
Right. Yeah, I'm in that class.
Okay.
Yeah, I just don't dance no more.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my class.
Spartan, Tarzan, Judge, a couple other
Yep.
people. Real cool people.
Yep. Those are dudes that I went to war against and battled, like, far as like in our region.
Okay.
Yep, they know me. Yep, I know all them. But by me saying that is that so they got the new era of dancers that's Krumps in the city, right? So they always ask my little homies, why are you guys still under Ant if he don't dance no more? And they all my crew tell him like, yo, this is my brother outside of Krump. He was like, yo, I can go to this man's house anytime I want to. If I need him to watch, he needs me to watch his kids, vice versa. Like, we have a family. You guys just dancing together. They tell him like, yo, our family is like a brotherhood. Mm-hmm. So I'm glad you brought that up because I know it'd be some new dancers in our city that be watching this, and now they really get what like I tell them or my crew tell them like, yo, like Krump, y'all don't have the family aspect of Krump. Like, none of y'all don't know y'all big homies. Y'all never been to their house. Like, y'all don't know their family, kids, etc., etc. And y'all under them and they out of town. Like, how can you even learn anything from them? So, like, it's just a big, clash that's going on in my city. But, I told them that, I'll come back into Krump Fires, like, and help it get more organized to like how I started it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So that's good to hear. Because I want to give some input as it pertains to that. There's a role with that whole family aspect. I'm very big on that. I think because you have a lot of people that are in families, but there's no family. It's just a term people use. It's for real. It's like, I want to make my fam big, so I'm just put this person with me. You know what I mean? And that's just for me. Big homie roles, what that looks like. Support, pushing people even past the dance. I think it's a life thing. You know what I mean? Like, you have a role to help people evolve in life. It's not just about the dance. And I think people that have a narrow-minded perspective of it, they just want to help people be tight and dance. But then you got to also look into your little homie's life because they can become unbalanced. A lot of people became big homies and brought people into a lot of unbalance where they didn't get an education. There's people who still are not stable as men. I can only speak towards the men. You know, I don't know what the women's perspective is, but it's like they are tight in dance. They are very skilled, but they don't have anything to show for it. And that's a wisdom thing. You know what I mean? Like when I see people like, you know, my little homies, I talk to them about how they can, you know what I'm saying, use the wisdom from what I've experienced and the opportunities that they have now to make this thing lucrative, because all you're getting from the session is, but that don't pay the bills. Now you sexing, you got kids, now you got 4 kids, and this don't feed them. So you're striving to be tight, but let's have a conversation about your life. Let's get your priorities in order. You're staying, you know, some people are in this position where they have to stay with somebody. Okay, are you contributing where you live? Like there's some principles, some family principles that people didn't get. I've always been very big on that. You know what I mean? So there's people to this day, like I'm not still dancing. They see me as their big homie, even though they've gone on and they're big homies. I'm not like over them, like I run their life. I'm there for their life. You know what I mean?
Right.
They say, yo, I'm short on some money. Oh, I got you.
Yep.
Be picked up. I'm going through something with my kids or whatever. You know what I mean? And like they've helped me grow as people. You know what I mean? That's a fam thing. You know what I mean? You know, people nickname Pops. You know what I mean? It's like I'm not going around like, you know, like Biggie. I love it when they call me Big Papa, but there's a role that I played to help them kind of even to affirm them. You know what I mean? To bless them. Some that have never been blessed. Like you're great. You just don't know it yet. You know, like I'm telling you, like, you know what I'm saying? It's in me to say that. I can see greatness. You know what I mean? Like it starts with faith. You know what I mean? Like I believe. And if a person believes, that's what we need to water. You know what I mean? Like that whole family aspect. And I'm big on like the loyalty. You know what I'm saying? And I think that, and I want to speak on that loyalty thing. Like sometimes that loyalty looks like you need to go. As a big homie, like you need to go. I'm gonna smother you, or you know what I mean. Like for me, the whole purpose I've ever Slayer, Dragon, Slaughter, all that stuff, Slash, all the names. The whole purpose of me doing it from the get go was to give them away. I'm not gonna be doing this forever. Come on, you know what I mean? Who do I see that can take this and make it greater than I ever could? That's something I have to admit. You see what I'm saying? Like I could. This name will die in the sand if I don't give this to them to run it to be what it's supposed to be. So that's how when I put people up, I want to don't want to use the word up under because it's you know what I mean. Well, I align them with myself. Like my whole purpose is to train them to take over, not to always keep me on the throne. Does that make sense?
Yep.
That's just my perspective. That's what I was shown my role as a big homie is. Does that make sense? Like Solo would have been stagnant being junior drag. You know what I'm saying? Like he would have been stagnant. Solo is a great, you know what I'm saying, canon. You know what I'm saying? There's people like, and we have to, again, push them and say, okay, here, I could trust you to run with it. And whatever you're going to do with it, do it. You know what I mean? And let them figure it out. Let them fall. Let them, I think it's a father aspect. You know what I'm saying? Like if you have children or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And I think there's a low respect. I don't have to, and a lot of my loans tell me all the time, sometimes I'm like, man, they're like, you don't have to dance, man. You don't have to. And I think there's a thing, like, if you're not dancing, you're not valid. And it's like, yeah, that's stupid, but okay.
Right.
And like, I think about that, like, you know, I was watching Ric Flair the other day. I forgot the dude's name. I don't know. I forgot it, but the dude that can imitate him real good. And they were going back and forth. You know, it was good watching that, but it's like Rick doesn't have to wrestle. You know what I mean? Even though he wants to, I don't have to dance. I love it though. When it's right, the toxic part of it, like you can have that, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like I just want a session with my people. You feel me? That's it. You know what I mean? Like that's something like, you know, there's some people that I'm like, yeah, if I sort of retire, there's some people I want to just kind of like get in there with, you know what I'm saying, in a session mindset, like, because they'll pull it out of you.
Right.
But you're doing good, man. Like if you got some new school cats just for you, like you already laid, like that's like somebody talking mess to you about the house. Like, yeah, this is my house. Yeah, but did you lay the foundation I put the plumbing in here and electricity. Don't the drywall. You could never put the drywall. You don't even know where the plumbing start at. Don't talk to me like that. You know, and I can talk to people like that, but like, bro, I'm not gonna go there. I know it's your arrogance. You full of piss and vinegar, and you feeling zealous. You know what I'm saying? But you couldn't have done. I tell like you couldn't have mentally done or handled what we had to handle, bringing KRUMP to the mass. You couldn't have done it. So.
They don't understand it, bro. Like they don't understand like I still have the same crew when you know first started. They don't understand like us four, you know, at the time when I didn't have my car, us getting on the Greyhound bus and going to Judge and Spartan House and battling the whole fucking city of Buffalo. Or when I did get my car, it's us four versus the whole city of Buffalo and a rec center. Like these new generations, they don't understand that. So, and you know what's crazy? All they big homies is the ones that know, like, they always be like, why y'all not tapped into Big Reject? And they be like, well, he doesn't dance anymore. They be like, yo, this nigga started Krump and where y'all at?
Yeah. I think it's ignorance too, because like to hear that y'all was catching a bus, like,
bro.
You know what I mean? That's dedicated. You know what I mean? And me, I used to pound, you know, Negroes in my car, picking them up. My little, they done seen my Tercel, my what kind of car I had? I had a Acura, the Eclipse, the Mustang. Like there's people that were in phases. You transporting people. I was driving people to auditions. I was driving people to auditions that I wasn't even on. You know what I'm saying? Because of, you know, no gas money. One of us making it. You know what I'm saying? That's the kind of family, bro, we had. You know what I'm saying? Like, C would have his mom car, I would have a car. We transporting people. One of us is gonna make it, and whoever make it, we made. Like that was the mindset. You know what I'm saying? Daisy mom, like Tasha, like Boomer, like one of us was gonna make it. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't like if you make it, we didn't have that mindset, bro. That if you make it, you owe me. It was like if you make it, we make it. It was like somebody gotta make it. And it has to do with people's family makeup. You gotta have it in your heart. You can't be taught that. It gotta be a part of who you are. You know what I'm saying? And it's like a person making it, and it's like, yeah, I got here on my own. Yeah. Well, I transported you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but you just transported. You would have never, the camera would have never made it on you. How dare you act like I don't exist? And I've been there sometimes. How dare y'all act like, you know, it's a lot of young Krumps walk by me like I don't exist. Like, it's like, you're so ignorant. But enjoy the house that we built. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy it. That water over there.
Yep, and you know, I don't know, is this, and but stuff like this is a help, you know, give them a better perspective of what Krump is like started from, even though it's different now, but you know, hopefully people can get back to that essence of Krump with a family aspect, character, you know, stuff like
that. A lot of people even know who Mama Tune is.
Bro, man,
listen,
if you conversation that I have,
we destroyed Mama Tune's house. I'm talking about broke tile, broke mirrors, broke furniture. This woman opened up her house. Nobody, and people don't even care. You know what I'm saying? Like, there had that woman, you know what I'm saying? Tasha Cooper, Daisy's mom. A lot of, you know what I'm saying? Like Mama I's house. You know, and Mama I's opened up. We told Mama's I's house up. Really, the only two houses that really didn't get touched, 3 houses, was Miho mom. We didn't touch Miho mom house. We didn't touch Lil C mom house, and we didn't touch my mom house. For real, because we, you know what I mean, this is what it was. But Mama Tune sacrificed her for, like, and it's stuff like that. It was a family. I think you snatch all that out, and I think people are just gathering people and using them to promote themselves from place to place. You know what I'm saying?
Agree.
Like that's like, I don't even want to get on that, but state to state, you're just gonna grab people. I call them the harvesters, strip the land of its resources, build an empire, and leave on. That's the wrong thing. You didn't build a family. You didn't build You didn't build a colony. You didn't build an industry that could sustain itself when you're not there. It's a mindset you got to have. You see what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I'm sorry to hear that you are going through that, but you know, just a word of healing for you. Look at, realize what you've done. Does that make sense? Look at what you've done and know that, like, they wouldn't be, and I think people see, like, for whatever perspective they see being under one of the greats, that go, I just want to be under Eyes. I just want to be under Slay or Lil C.
I hear that all the time, bro, in some of these interviews. I hear it all the time. All the time.
Yeah. And then you have, you know, I think people are just looking for the limelight because they don't see the light on themselves. They think if they get close to the person with the light, that's going to make them greater. No, you're already great. You're already great. I'm sick. Like, I've heard grown men, like, bro, and I've been like almost sick to my stomach. Grown men and grown women, and at the core of it, I got to call it what it is. It's idolatry, bro. It's idolatry. You know what I mean? It's like, I just want to. So your goal is not to get a job. Your goal is not to become wealthy. Your goal is, you thought that you were going to arrive. People are paying, and I would, you know, $1,000 workshops and $20,000 this and that. I would never. You understand what I'm saying? Like, of course, we got to put some value to what we're doing. I got that, right? But there has to be, for me, there has to be a level of, why am I paying $100 for your workshop or two? Why am I paying? There got to be some type of value, and we gotta, again, we can't sell ourselves short. You know what I'm saying? Because if something has value, then it's going to be respected. But I would never, if it's going to help you be great, would never rape you of your hard-earned money if I have a responsibility as a leader to build you up. You know what I'm saying? Like, no. You know what I'm saying? Okay, fly me out. Like, for me, fly me out because I got a family. I'm going to be off of work, so you need to be able to cover the money for when I'm at work. You know what I'm saying? But there has to be some type of impartation. And there's too many people that are not getting what they need from these. I'm serious. And that's why I was talking to you guys the other day. I was like, okay, I'm going to have to start doing some workshops because there's something in the mind and heart that's not clicking. And I got that. You know what I'm saying? Some heart and mind workshops help you find your essence. And what I'm saying is not popular and people are not going to want to hear it and they can shoot it down. But I can guarantee you, you take what I have and it's going to improve you as a person. Many people want to be great dancers and they're horrible people. That's not to curse them. It's because you're missing value. And you think that being, like, people come to me like, they're like, oh, I'm so honored to be. And I have to go, all right, I get it. But listen, and this whatever, I don't care, Miho, Prissy, Eyes, we already had greatness in us. And the only thing that happened is we had the camera put on us. And the camera exposed who we really are. The light exposed what was really on the inside of the heart. Does that make sense? Like, if you just wanted to become great, then that's what came forth. And I will say this until the day I take my last breath. Everybody remembers before Rize came out, we know when we were backstage, when we prayed to God all together, that if God gave us the opportunity and made Rize move, we said what we're going to do. And a lot of that has not been done. You know what I'm saying? Ain't been done. And we have not gone back and helped our community. You know what I'm saying? We have not, collectively. And we have individually tried to do it. And the reason why it's not breaking out like it's supposed to is because we got to come back together. Does that make sense? It was a unified work. You know what I'm saying? And so it wasn't about the stars. It was about the universe. If you understand what I'm saying, I'm just kind of saying it in a parable. It wasn't about the individual stars, about the universe. You know what I'm saying? There was a universe in this, a Krump universe. You know what I mean? Like, those lights just brought attention to a universe that people never knew of. You know what I'm saying? And like, the light that we have is not, it's not for us to shine. It's to shine light on some other things. It's a community of people that are broken. And if we keep with the same toxic cycle, it's not going to break. It's not going to break if people's selfish ambition is to, I want to be great in Krump. You know what I'm saying? Like there's enough resources for everybody to be what they're supposed to be.
Yep. Just like what we were talking about off camera. Like a lot of people need to know like what their position is in Krump, or what they was kind of led to do in Krump. Like for me, bro, I wasn't the best dancer in my crew. I wasn't the best dancer in the world. So I felt like, I had my era with that. So now, God led me to do this part of aspect of Krump, which I can show my greatness in. You know what I'm saying? It's not me battling and sessioning and doing all that. I could have an imprint in Krump in other ways besides just the dance.
Let me have a conversation with you about that, because I dealt with that, right? And I really had to do some searching on the inside, right? I'm gonna say this to you and put this on this platform. I had to,
Okay.
I'm not a great dancer. Okay. I had to look at that. So if I'm not a great dancer, then why was my dancing showcased?
That is true.
So it was great in somebody's eyes, just not in the eyes of those that I wanted to notice it. So you may not be great to the people that you want to be great, but you're great to somebody. Does that make sense to you? So when I say that, I found myself comparing myself to other people because of how other people, were responding to maybe eyes or little C. But there was a people that I spoke to. And once I got comfortable, you know what I'm saying? And once I got comfortable in my lane, let the people who are drawn to eyes be drawn to eyes. Let those who are drawn to Miho be drawn to Miho. But now I'm going to put out my light and not let what's in me shine because of the people that are running to other people. But what about the people who are going to be stuck if I don't let my light shine? So for you, like, there's people that tell me, when you dance, I'll feel it. Some people are in tears. They're like, man, there's something woke up in me. So now I'm going to just shut that down, because guess what? Little C, Miho, Prissy, whoever, they can draw the crowds. And maybe that's what they're supposed to do. And maybe mine is to draw one person who's going to change the world. See, I understand my dancing. When I dance, release your essence, it's not about them becoming a great dancer. You know what I mean? I have a thing for leaders. You know what I mean? Like to awaken leaders. I know what's on me to heal. And when I release that, it's going to draw them to me. It's not about the dance. It's about the essence, the spirit being awakened in them so they can see who they really are. You know what I mean? So they can go off. And I've been saying this for the longest. There's a lot that's in Krump besides dancing. The dance is just our language that we communicate with. But we have artists. We have engineers, doctors, lawyers, parents, fathers. And we become so nearsighted. It's like, oh, you don't matter if you don't dance. Yeah, the dance is the language. That's how we talk. But what about the rest of the culture? There's a whole culture to it. Artists, you know what I'm saying? Painters, makeup artists. Like, you could see it. It is its own civilization. You know what I mean? But if that language gets translated wrong, and I was definitely a part of that. So I understand that my silence has affected a lot of people's perspective. You know what I mean? I just had to learn how to talk without the anger, because there was some anger behind it. You know what I mean? Like, this ain't gonna come out right if I talk. Let me tone it down and search and look at, why was I angry? You know what I mean? Why was I hurt? Does that make sense? But for you, I had to say something to you about that, like, because I dealt with that. You know what I mean? And as much as people are like, oh, you're great, just because the reason why people reject you is because they're not supposed to receive you, no matter how hard you try. And I learned, I stopped trying to make people receive me. Those who receive me will receive me with no effort, very little. And that's who I need to speak to. There's billions of people here. There's people who are going to be drawn. It could be 10 people watching your podcast. It could be 6 people liking your videos, but it's not about the thousands. You know what I mean? It's about the one. Just look for the one person. There's one person who's going to hang on your words, and you change their life. Does that make sense? So that's the mindset that the generation is after. Likes, 13,000 likes, and they feel like they're not powerful. But you can be one person. Like when people in my stories, like, you tried to kill yourself? Well, why? And then I tell them about my pain. How did you make it? Now Now we into something. You know what I'm saying? Because now my life is giving them a reason to live. You know what I mean? And then I share with them what happened for me, and then they can choose. You know, God worked for me, non-religious. You know what I mean? And then I learned how to tap into Krump and receive healing. How you do that? Okay, now come take this workshop. Let me give you some tools on what worked for me. You know what I'm saying? Not me coming up with a philosophy. This is facts. You know what I'm saying? And then there's people like they're still clawing for recognition in Krump, and I want to tell them you need to move on. That doesn't mean you release Krump, but you need to let go of your demand for receiving anything from it, because you're actually going to receive from somewhere else to be able to give back. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to receive from somewhere else. You know?
Oh man.
Like sometimes you got to go get the resource, because the land is stripped of its resources. You know what I mean? Yeah. Hope that makes sense.
Wow, man. Yo, that makes very sense, man. And I definitely appreciate, the positive wow, man. Man, I honestly don't be thinking like each episode can get better than the next, bro. But man, each interview is topping the last one. Jeez, man. Wow. Yeah, man, Slayer, man, you got some like a lot of dope, inspirational, truthful, and it's real. It ain't like the fake shit that, some people get on these and say certain things to try to make themselves look good or highlight something. But I like that, you speaking like the true facts and essence of all this. It ain't just saying like, yo, man, when I used to kill all these people, all da. I want y'all to know how dope I was. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is something like, man, yeah, this is very, very cool, bro. Very, very cool.
I just speak from the heart. You know what I mean? And then I reminds me of the Undertaker. You know what I mean? He may have not been like the Benoit but you're gonna remember him. And there be another like him. You know what I'm saying?
It's a fact. Definitely a fact. Is there anything else you wanted to touch on before we end this part one? Because I got a lot of extra questions, but we're gonna have that for the part two aspect. Especially we're gonna definitely get into like your wrestling career and everything in part two. But as far as like this part one, is there anything else you would like to touch on that we talked about today?
Yeah, I do. I want to just, there is, you can have a cigarette this week. A cigarette on the couch. There's a lot of OGs, and to the OGs that are trying to come back in the game, it's like, I know the corner session coming up, I really plan on being on that, but like, I just want to speak something to bring healing. You know what I mean? Like, we can see the epidemic that's going on. There's a lot of you who may feel forgotten, you know what I mean, or overlooked. I've never forgotten you, you know what I mean? Facts. There's some people that just didn't make it up the mountain. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. But then there's people that are on top of the mountain that remember that people that didn't make it up there. And some people are just looking for a way to build a bridge or a ladder to help people who may not be able to climb the terrain of the mountain. So we're trying to find a way to build something to help people who need to get up there but can't deal with the terrain. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
But don't feel forgotten about. Don't feel forgotten about. But don't come to the new generation demanding. Don't come to them demanding anything, because I don't know where they got this from, but that we never were about that. We never were about that. But the stuff I'm saying, I'm like, we never were about that. At least at the core of Krump, we never was about that. All this toxic fighting for I killed you off. We never were about that. It was like, oh, you lost. All right, see you next session. We wasn't getting into no fights or tearing people down. That just shows that there's so much insecurity in Krump. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. And there's people who are scratching and clawing to be seen at the core of it. Look at me. That's what I look at someone like, look at me, see me, look at me, see me, recognize me, see me. new school and old school, and it makes the movement toxic. It makes the movement toxic. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to stop all that. Like, if we're supposed to be edifying and lifting up one another, that's why people came to Krump. That's why they're coming.
Mm-hmm.
People are coming in and then being torn down because they're not skilled. Give them the skill. Don't ridicule, but then, and this is what I may have to talk about, mindset, is how you process what people are saying to you. You know what I'm saying? I got hardened and sharpened from colliding with that head on with my faith. Okay. I took that anger, took that pain, took that rejection, and I made fuel of it. You know what I mean? I use it in my teachings where I start talking about essence, moving in, igniting, fusion to different levels, you know what I mean? And taking that and making fuel. So those that are rejected, there's a level of acceptance that comes in Krump. And then the dangerous thing is when they become accepted, they make themselves sometimes into an idol and forget who they are as a person. You know what I'm saying? And they actually start taking on the mindset of some type of God in their eyes. You know what I'm saying? It's like, wait. Okay, all right, Charles. You know what I'm saying? Your name is Zombie. I'm just using, I hope that's not nobody's name, but Zombie. Don't get it twisted. You still a person. Don't go off in la la land and forget that you're still a person. And then you still touchable. Stop talking to people crazy on this internet, because somebody may run up on you and knock the sonic rings out of you. Like, facts. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean?
I just went through that with this guy in my city, making threats, and I'm like, yo, bro, I don't dance no more. So now when I come to this session and it's rec time, when I'm pressing you, bro, don't say, well, I was just talking Krump. Yo, bro, it's not Krump to me. Like, because
I think it's a line, right? Like, for real, we had a line, and there was something called Krump talk, right? This Krump talk, like, it's just Krump talk. You gotta have a heart and a mind for that. You can take it, but also a lot of people can dish it out, but they can't take it. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta be able to take it if you got that. Like don't try to make it, because the whole purpose of it being created is so that we don't have to be violent. But you gotta, in your mind, you gotta know when you crossing that line. Even with wrestling, you know what I'm saying? We doing promos, like, all right, it's a promo to make the it's the psychology of it. All right, we're gonna come to the match, but learn boundaries. You know what I'm saying? There's certain things you don't need to touch on. You know what I mean? But you got to be able to take it. It's a lot of people who can dish it out or kind of bully or ridicule people, but you can't take it. You know what I mean? But then you also got to learn, like, I think the internet has made people brave. You know what I'm saying? Like, it really made people brave. Like, bro, wait. Are you serious? You know, so sometimes you look like, bro, you serious? They know that they're 2,000 miles away. That's why they talk like that. They know you're not really going to catch a flight. You know, people talk to me crazy. They know that I'm committed to the Lord. And I just look at them like, bro, you know. Or maybe you don't know. And I don't need to prove it to you because you don't know who I am. It's cool. So, you know, for those that are mature, we can overlook the ignorance. Like, bro, it's cool. That's like some OGs in the hood. They know, like, bro, these young, you know what I'm saying, these young, you know, feel like they got a little six-pack and some tattoos. They feel brave. And there's people that, you know what I'm saying, they're trying to take on a gangster mindset. You ain't never been a gangster. You don't even push your PIN number when you put it in your credit card. Don't be trying to push nobody's line, but be brave. Okay, if that makes you feel good, but there's people that don't have a heart for what they talk. You know what I mean? So, like, all that drama on Facebook and all that drama on the internet and all that internet, like, cut it out, because you're stirring up a violence that the whole movement of Krump is actually totally against that, for real, at its core. Clowning was created to be against that, and so was Krump. Let's not go into that, all these unnecessary fights. And I think it's like people need to learn respect, learn wisdom, and learn boundaries. And then there's people that's not for that childish stuff, right? Not right now. There's people that's not for that. That's not for that childish stuff. You can't talk to them like that because it ain't Krump talk. Like, you know what I mean? And you may be touching something that hurt. Learn to, don't be stupid. Don't let your friends hype you up and push you. You know what I'm saying? Like, because many people, they got people in their family, they're not going to get out there and get hands with you. You know what I'm saying? And let's keep it a battle. That's like, for real. Like, keep it 100 and keep it in the battle. Like, if you really got, and I think there's people for real, they really got real, they got real beef with people. This real beef. You know what I'm saying? They need to handle that in the sessions and then have a conversation. You know what I mean? Like, there's something in you that don't like this man. There's something in you that don't like this woman. And you talking you actually talking at them because you hiding behind the texting or the message. Say your speech. That's what we used to say. Like, say your speech. Get it off your chest. And then from there, like, let's try to make it not to where it gets to violence. And if it got to get to violence, put some gloves on, go catch the fade, whatever y'all got to do so that drama can leave. You know what I'm saying? But all that, I guess they call it gaslighting or whatever they're doing right now. Like,
Yep.
stop, because it's just, it's making it like, you know, I don't want to be a part of it. Like my kids, my son and my daughter, I had them in Krump for a minute. They were loving it. My daughter, she heard me talking about Krump. She lit up like, yeah. And I'm like, I had to pull them out just because of drama. My son was like, I don't want to be a part of that. He loved it and he was building up, but he was like, Dad, I don't want to be a part of that. I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, I said that. I said, dang, you feel me? So there's certain places that, you know what I'm saying, keep all that excess drama elsewhere and grow up. Like, for real, like, you're a grown man, grown woman. You know what I'm saying? There's some people that are teenage and still those teenage issues are spilling out in Krump. Let them hash that out. You know, some of us, we too grown for all that. For real. Like, bro, you too grown. Okay. Rize has passed. Breakers versus Krumpin has passed. Now your whole family is struggling because you're still chasing some childhood dream. Go get the rest of your life. Please. You know what I'm saying? Please go get the rest of your life. And it'll change your perspective. I wouldn't waste my time and my energy, you know, clawing for recognition in Krump. You know, it's in the books. They've tried to edit me out the story or change it. Just let them edit, but it's documented. So what you gonna do now?
Can't do nothing about it.
It's documented on film. It's in writing, and it's in people's hearts. And what you can't erase what's in people's hearts. That's
definitely. They definitely can't do that, bro. And I'm glad, like, you just said that because, like I said, man, there's a lot of people only think, like, either one or two people is, like, got Krump to what it is today. And I'll be telling them, like, yo, bro, man. But, yeah, man, this is such a dope episode, you know, part one. Part two is going to be even better because we're going to get into some more stuff that a lot of people want to know. And, you know, man, Slayer, man, means a lot, bro, for you to come, take the time out your day and not just bless my platform, but, you know, bless the Krump community because this is needed from a person like you to, you know, share your story.
Yeah. Yeah.
And hopefully one day this can all lead to, we can get all the creators maybe in one room because I'm coming down to Cali next week. Hopefully I could be there for 3 weeks, but it's definitely going to be for 2 weeks. And, you know, hopefully, you know, if I can, you know, have everybody in the room and this, maybe we can, because it's needed for Krump, bro. Like, I feel like it's time, you know what I'm saying?
If we can do that, I'll cook for it. You feel me?
Word. Like, for real. I got Miho. I spoke to him. He said he was down. You know, I just got to get in touch with, like, you know, C and Prissy and, man, eyes is going to be impossible. But you never know. You never know. You never know.
We could pray. We could pray and we could hope. You know what I mean? And it's needed. I can tell you that it's needed. And then there's, you know, there's this, yeah, it's so much unresolved pain and it keep coming up. You know what I mean? But I think it's going to start with us having that conversation. You know what I mean? And then there's people that I think we have a responsibility at not making them feel forgotten about. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of people that died. There's a lot of people that put skin in the game. You know what I mean? Just remember them. Call them. Check on them. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's people, and there's some people that just may hate us because we were picked or chose. I don't know the word to pick for it, but we were platformed. And there's something in them that hates the fact that we were platformed. It's like, they did something to do it. Well, to my knowledge, I ain't do nothing to do it. I just was me. And if being me got me platformed, I don't apologize for that. You know what I mean? But I used my opportunity to do what I said I was gonna do. You know what I mean? I can't speak for everybody else on their platform. You know what I mean? So let it go on record. You know what I'm saying? That y'all not forgotten about. You know what I mean? I think people have acted really bougie, you know what I mean, arrogant, untouchable. Like, We ate chicken together. Excuse you? Yeah, I mean, we cried together. We took care of each other's parents. I dare you act like you above. All right, be deep. You know what I mean? And just kind of let that go. But I think success is either a poison, you know what I'm saying, or it can be an enhancement. Depends on your heart. You know what I mean?
I agree, bro. Definitely agree. This is amazing, man. And like I said, everyone that's tuning in and will be, seeing this in the future, we're definitely going to have a part 2. You never know. It could even be face to face, when I come to Cali, but we definitely having a part 2. And everybody take heed to what, this whole interview was about. And really, like pay attention to the words that Slayer's dropping. He's dropping a lot of positive and like real shit. So, y'all make sure y'all listen to his side of, his perspective, his side of Krump, his life story. And we're going to keep this thing going, man. And hopefully all these interviews can turn Krump around for the better.
Yeah.
Because one thing I don't want to happen is Krump to self-destruct. Like it goes down because of the people that's involved in it.
Yeah.
So hopefully we can change that.
Yeah. It's going to take a united, people got to listen. You know what I mean? I think people have to listen and stop talking. I think everybody believes that they have a voice, and there's just something called priority. And everybody does have a voice, and that's not to say a person doesn't have a voice, but you need to know when it's your time to speak. And some people are speaking on things that it's not your time. You know what I'm saying? Like things have to be done decent and in order. You know what I mean? Like there's a time to express or share what you have. And you got to ask yourself, is it time? A lot of resources have not come forth from this movement. So it's not time for people to be demanding resources. You know what I'm saying? I think people need to be asking for an audience. Like I have something to share, and there's a way that you do that. Like, you know what I mean? I believe that you're giving space for people to be heard. And again, everybody has a voice. And that's not to silence them, but should you be talking about that right now? And this comes with wisdom, and some people just don't have wisdom. You know, there's a level of understanding that have to come, and that comes with time. It's not something that you can learn from a book. You know what I mean? So anybody that's seeing these interviews, like this is a man who's like, he's asking some very important questions. I believe that you're very gifted for this. I believe that you have the proper mindset for what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? I believe it's very timely. I believe God is with this. You know what I'm saying? And when we start talking that, I think we automatically start going religion. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just like, God is with this because he is in healing. He is in reconciling. You know what I mean? He is getting us to our original purpose. He gave us Krump. You know what I'm saying? It's not to get into the KRUMP, whatever all that it became, but he gave us this so that we could heal. I can tell you that. Facts. But we did something that we weren't supposed to do with it. And that's on.
Wow.
We did it.
Wow.
We did that. Whether we wanted it or not, we did that.
Wow, man. Part 2 is going to be a good one, y'all. I hope y'all ready.
Yes, sir.
Part 2 is definitely going to be a good one. I hope everyone is ready. Hey, Slayer, let everybody know where they can follow you at, brother, and be in tune to what you got going on until we get to part 2.
Yeah, so you can I'm going stop doing that. We can you guys can follow me on what is this? Instagram. J Baptiste, JBAPTISTE 7151. That is actually my wrestling tag. I'm on Clubhouse daily. Follow me at Jason Green, the number 1, SENT, or you can follow me on Facebook, JASON GR33N. So the E's are 3s. So I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and Clubhouse. I actually need to create a Twitter, but somebody was like, "You need a Twitter." I was like, "Oh, I didn't even know. Maybe I can tweet something." Yeah, I'm just everything. For me, is really about like healing and building people up, helping them follow their dream and their purpose. You know what I mean? So,
Cool, bro. Hey, man, thanks again, Slayer, for pulling up, man. This means a lot, and I'll definitely be talking to you soon. Like I said, if I don't get in contact when I come down for those weeks in Cali, we'll definitely, have part 2 on this, online. So we'll definitely be in contact, everybody, for part 2. So I just want y'all to let y'all know to be ready for that as well.
For sure.
All right, bro, man. Thanks again, man. Have a blessed day, bro.
All right, you too. Blessing.
All right.
All right.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man, that was Krump Talk episode 20 with the legendary Slayer. Everybody that's tuned in, man, make sure y'all like and subscribe to the channel. Beyond Reality Podcast. This is all on wax. And y'all know my slogan. I'm just a guy that like to talk about reality. Peace.